I have a new toy here from Amazon, which I'm going to do a concise review for. I've needed a torque wrench for a while, but I keep bodging things by estimating torque. But I finally ran into a job which really requires accurate torque, so I was kind of forced into this. I actually tried to buy one second hand, but I found that prices on the auction sites just kept getting bid too high. So I gave up, and Amazon in the US provided this thing for less money, actually. Quite a bit less. So considering it's brand new, this should mean pretty good value for money if it does what it says on the tin. So let's check it out. This is a Tekton 1/2-inch torque wrench with a quite a wide range of torque settings. It goes from 10 to 150 foot-pounds, or 13.6 to 203.5 Newton meters. Now it's a 1/2-inch square drive, obviously, with a 24-tooth ratchet. And down the bottom in that table, you see they're claiming plus minus 4% accuracy. So not exactly jewelry precision engineering there, but more than good enough for basic car jobs and the like. And this, apart from the price, was one aspect that led me to buy it. This quality replacement guarantee, where they say if this product does not meet your expectations during its usable life, we will replace it or provide replacement parts free of charge. And there are a few positive reviews on Amazon referring to the successful use of this, so that's good to see. And down here it says made in Taiwan, but that's fine so long as it's not actually a cheap Asian brand or company that you can't trust. And you see here the proprietor company is Michigan Industrial Tools in Michigan. Okay, I'll unbox it so you can see what you get for your money. Firstly, a decent storage case, that's always good. And you get this user's guide paper, which I quite like actually, so let's have a look at it. You've got all the basic instructions for use, which is fine, but what I appreciate is the drawings that they include, which show the basic internal workings, so that if you don't know, then you can educate yourself on how a mechanical torque wrench operates. And over on the right is a torque conversion table, which you'll need, I'll discuss that later. And on the back is an even more detailed exploded drawing of the wrench's internal components. So that's interesting. Now let's have a look at the wrench itself. Cosmetically, this one that I received appears to have a little wear on it actually. You can see this. There's a bit of wear on this square drive. There's a bit of wear on the ratchet switch here. The black paint or coating is worn off. And there's some marks on the micrometer scale here. And a bit of wear on the hex end of the micrometer handle. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe these outer parts sort of got rolled around a bit on workbenches a bit before final assembly and packaging. Anyway, it's just cosmetic and I don't care. Anyway, no self-respecting DIYer wants a tool that looks brand new anyway, do we? So the drive end has a fairly typical ratchet head on it. I found the ratchet switch to be a bit awkward to move. It takes quite a bit of force, or did the first few times I used it anyway. And sometimes you need to play with the square drive at the same time in order to get it to release and move over. Also, out of the box, in my case, it was set to drive counterclockwise. See, it's a little bit, there we go. It was set to drive counterclockwise, i.e. to loosen like this, which was a little bit strange, but anyway, of course you just switch it across and then you can use it normally, as you are probably going to want to. And by the way, you can only operate this ratchet, you can operate the ratchet as you like to turn clockwise or counterclockwise, But there are actually two issues with that. One, you shouldn't use any torque wrench as a breaker bar to loosen bolts. And two, you can only operate this as a torque wrench in the normal clockwise tightening or righty-tighty direction. So having said that, apparently it is possible to reverse the torque direction, which involves a little disassembly, but certainly it's not a simple switch to do that or to switch it back again. Now, one more thing to talk about for all of you European DIYers. This is an imperial or US wrench that is indexed in foot-pounds. Now, of course, it is dual range, which just means that they printed a converted range in metric Newton meters on the other side of the gauge. But this isn't what you could call an ideal solution, because once you've indexed it in the one scale with 10 foot-pound intervals between the settings, then you're stuck with the converted range having an uneven number for its intervals, because obviously they have to be the same, mechanically speaking, as the actual range that it was indexed in. So people complain, and I saw a review or two on Amazon saying this. Why don't they use sensible intervals on the Newton meter scale as well as the foot-pound scale? These people don't understand that you can't, because the micrometer adjusts 10/10ths of a foot-pound like this. If I can, as you turn it, it adjusts 10/10ths for a half turn. That's 1/2 turn there, and that's the full turn. So you're stuck with that single micrometer. So all of this is to say, using this thing in Newton meters is a little bit of a bear, to be honest. So to dial in an accurate Newton meter setting, you have to find the interval that you care about. Let's say we wanted 90 Newton meters. So the interval here is between 81.4 and 94.9. So we have to dial it up to, firstly we'll get it to the 81.4. And then to go to 90 exactly, we're going to have to work out what 1/10 is effectively, and then do the math on that. So 94.9, I'm just typing this into a calculator that you can't see on the screen, minus 81.4 is 13.5. Divide that by 10, it's 1.35. And because we want to go to 90, 90 minus 81.4 is 8.6. So we need to divide 8.6 by 1.35, which gives us 7.25. So we need to dial in 7.25 now on this. That's 7, so we'll call that, that's about 7.25 there. And now that's set to 90 Newton meters. Now, alternatively, you could firstly convert 90 Newton meters to foot-pounds. And this is where this conversion table comes in handy. So we find Newton meters, if we wanted 90, that would be 66.38 foot-pounds. And then you just go to the foot-pound scale. So then you would just dial it up to 60, and then put the micrometer to 6.4 there, and you're done. And of course that's quite a bit easier. So for anybody who needs to work exclusively on metric systems, bear that in mind. Now, talking about 90 Newton meters, here's a quick demo of the wrench being used in anger. tightening a wheel nut to the correct spec. So you dial in the correct torque, like I just demonstrated, or something close to it. And you tighten the locking thumb screw. You attach the appropriate socket and apply force and do up the nut until you get the torque click. Now, as it's pointed out in the user guide, the wrench will happily keep on tightening after the torque indicator click is gone the first time, so you need to be doing it gently and stop immediately you hear and feel it. And then it'll click back a second time as you release it and you're done. Of course, if you keep applying pressure, it'll just keep tightening. It just clicks to let you know that's the torque, but there's nothing that actually stops you from continuing to apply torque. So you need to be aware of that. And then you're supposed to store the wrench with it dialed back to its lowest torque setting. Okay, I hope this was useful. It's not an expensive or high quality or high precision tool, but it does everything it's supposed to. It's backed up by apparently good service, and it is very versatile because the torque range on this model that I have goes low enough for things like spark plugs, but high enough for most bigger nuts on cars, like engine mount nuts and that sort of thing. So it's very good value for money, extremely good, I would say. So yeah, I recommend it. And by the way, if you want a different size or different torque range, they do varying models that are laid out at the bottom of the Amazon product page. Here you can see 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch options, as well as the other 1/2 inch options. All with different ranges and lengths, and some with dual direction torque drive as well. And finally, for you non-US viewers, I just wanted to point out that Amazon.com's international shipping now is just ridiculously reasonable, even on a kind of bulky and heavy item like this thing. Yeah, as someone living in the South Pacific, I have to say that they really put other retailers to shame in this department. Which is something that I appreciate anyway. Okay, that's all. The link to Amazon is below. Have fun.